This week on Finding the Wild, we're talking 10 plants of South Florida's swamps and marshes. But before we get started, be sure to hit that subscribe button below. I'll wait. We good to go? Okay, let's roll.
I'm John Hinkleman. I've traveled to some of the world's most remote and beautiful places. Along the way, I've learned a thing or two that help me survive these harsh environments. With a few basic outdoor skills, you too can embark on an amazing adventure. Join me as I share what I've learned and we find the wild. There's two types of cypress trees in Florida. There's the pond cypress and the bald cypress. The bald cypress has the main stem and all the needles coming out of it are long. The pond cypress, the needle structure is a little different. It has the stem and has shorter needles and they're following the main stem. So that's the difference between bald cypress and pond cypress. This is the saw palmetto. How we know it's a saw palmetto is it has these little razor blades that if you go the wrong direction on it, it'll actually rip you open. Again, how we know it's a palmetto is where the stem hits the frond. It's round, slightly rounded or flat. Over here we have the palm tree. Again, the stem here is nice and smooth. I don't have to worry about getting cut at all. And then where the stem hits the frond, you have a point. Additionally, this was really the one-stop shop for native people when they were living here. These little string-like things, you can actually break them off. And if you slowly twist them up, you can make cordage or string, which then you can turn into rope. It doesn't take too much work, and each frond is loaded with them, with the strings. Also, if you cut off the top here, just underneath here is where you get heart of palm, and you can eat that. It tastes just like cabbage. That's how it gets the name Cabbage Palm. This is swamp fern. Really hard to figure out how they came up with the name. It's a fern. It grows in the swamp. It could also be used in emergency. Just break it off. You can make an emergency fern call. This is lemon Bacopa. This is actually a medicinal plant used by the Seminoles. What they actually did is they would break this off, crush it up, and either eat it or make a tea out of it. Right now it actually smells like limes. During the winter time it can smell like Vicks Vapor Rub. Ugh. But I'll be honest, that's really medicinal. I don't know if I'd eat that. So this is Melaleuca. This is an invasive species. It's actually from Australia. It was brought in here to drain the wetlands because it can absorb so much water. Also has the nickname paper bark because you can peel off the bark. If there is an ant in it, it actually looks like paper. So this is poison ivy. How we know it's poison ivy is the center stem is longer than the two other stems at the base. So leaves of 3, leave them be. This is poison ivy. This poison ivy has nice round leaves. We come over and we look at this one right here. This one has lobes on it. Both of these are poison ivy because again, that center stem is long, bottom stems are short. This is a Bromeliad. This is a cardinal Bromeliad by the pinkish red flower. It actually falls in the epiphyte family, meaning it attaches to a tree. It doesn't actually harm the host plant and it doesn't benefit it. It just kind of attaches there and chills. Spike rush. This is actually what makes up all of the marsh out here. If you actually take it and you break it open, you can actually see the inside of it. It looks like styrofoam. It has a bunch of air pockets. So how it works is when it falls over, it floats on the surface if it's still alive. And then over time, it'll slowly erect itself up. That's due to the structure on the inside. So this is sawgrass. What actually is evil about this is if you go up towards the top, it won't cut you, but if you go against it, it actually rips you right open. You start to get cut up and it really hurts. It is helpful In an emergency situation, if you're out here and you're worried about getting water, if you pull out just the middle part, very carefully without cutting yourself, all this white material is super soft. You can actually eat this. Get a little bit of moisture out of it so you can stay just a little bit hydrated and get a little starch. I think that's it for now. Let's get going.